look at the graphical way through which we also do forecast analysis. The graphical way, one of the easiest is, let's say I have some timelines here and I have some kind of cells over here. I'm just going to click on, because once I have this, okay, let me shift this a little bit away from here. And so let's focus on this. So these are timelines and then the sales that somebody has been making, and then we want to look at it. So let's see, one of the ways is to just click on any of them. Come and right click, say insert, and then select chart, and then use this. So it's going to give you the whole of this, what we are looking at here. And then let's look at how it looks like. It gives you a trend. You can see the trend which is over there. So you can click on this line, right click, say add trend line. So it's going to give you a trend line. Let me just click on the trend line and make it a little bit format charts. Come to this, then we select red, and then we can make it thicker, maybe by, yeah, and making it a little bit thicker. I think I don't want, I want a dotted line. I think that the trend line is always good when you are dealing with dashes. Yeah. Yeah. And make it a little more. So now this is our trend, or this is how our, what is it, forecast is looking like. Okay. So for now, there's no forecast. It just give us the trend all the way up to the end of the data, which is 450. As we can see, if we check, the end of the data is around 450. But for the 450, I did not put anything there. I didn't put anything from all this place all the way up to this. But it has focused, it has already focused the 450 up to the 450, and we can see this as what how sales is going to look like. That's another way of doing the forecasting. So you can simply extend the line, or you can simply, this side wasn't given, but you can simply just give the timeline for the X, and Excel will automatically detect this particular side on the graph. And when you check on the graph, you will notice that it has gone beyond from the actual time of ending at 405, and then went all the way to the 450 in order to estimate how much sales we'll be making around that particular time. But this is the linear kind of forecast, and it doesn't always help. Now, the easiest, or the graphical way, the easiest way to be able to do this, there are instances you can come here and then maybe suggest, you can give a value here. Let's say, let me check and see. So let's say 30 minutes. So I'm going to add 30 minutes to it, and then tap OK and see whether, so you notice that the line has extended a little bit upwards, telling us that in the next 30 minutes, if we add 30 minutes to it, because we are looking at 5 minutes interval. So check what is going to happen. So sales are going to go up all the way, because we are dealing with linear. If we're dealing with polynomial, maybe it would have been different. Logistics, exponential would have been a little bit different, but we're dealing with linear. But here we are not able to run all of that, and that is not too perfect. Now, there is a better way to be able to do the forecast using the graphical method, using what we call the forecast sheet. So I'm going to delete all of this and then use that one for us to see. So I'm picking the whole of these parts out and just leaving only this. So I'm going to come click over there. Let me also take this out, and then come to your data tab, and then you will see something called forecast sheet, which is here. just click on it, and is automatically going to give you this data telling us that this is our forecast for the data that we have. So the forecast actually ends at where the blue line is. And then the blue line actually ends at 1405. But you see that the orange color, as you see here, is the forecast that it has estimated all the way up to 605. So telling us that from the data, from the previous data, we can actually see this might be the upper bound as we are going. This will be the optimum bound as we go. And then this will be the lowest bound. So if sales are going to continue after 405 all the way up to 605, then that's 2 hours of projection or forecast. Then this is how the sales are going to look like. We might likely go up all the way up to this point, or we simply slightly go up, or sales can also drop down. And this is how forecast look like. You can toggle between the lines, and then if you also want, you can click this, and you're going to have this beautiful graph also showing you the same thing where we have the upper bound and then the lower bounds, which are here. But to be able to have everything and then look at the values, the confidence interval and everything, we always create. So we'll come to the options here, and then from the options sheet, you can actually do your manipulations around here. So the focus end at 410. If you want, we can actually extend it. We can extend it to whatever that we want to. If we can also extend it, this is within a day. We can say the forecast start at, so that from 2:05 p.m., that's where the forecast will start from. And then it will end at 4 p.m. That is, if we can also forecast just within a particular range, and then we are good to go. Then we have a confidence interval, we can increase it. Let us, if there are seasonalities, we want it to be detected automatically. And we can include forecast statistics. So I need to check this up, because setting the seasonality manually is sometimes, I just want Excel to detect it. Time range is already given, value range is already given. We can also change the time range if we so wish. And the value range we can change if we have other data seated over there. We can fill missing points. So if there are missing points, I don't want it to be filled with zeros. I want it to be interpolated. So, and then aggregate duplicate using average. That is where you have the same value, let's say 22222. Then Excel will automatically give the average of it. If you want, you can also say sum it up, or you can count it, or you can use a minimum, then in that order. Select any of them, but I prefer the average. Now, when all of this is set, then we can now create our forecast and then have our forecast sheet. Then I'll click create, and that's it. It's going to give us this graph, beautiful graph that we can actually work on. If we so wish, we can still add a trend line to it, and then we are adding the trend line on the GOBE cells. And then this is our trend line. Like I said, I come to format and make it red, and then make it a little bit thicker. The width of the trend line, so make it a little bit thicker, and then that is it. So our data ended at 405, but we were able to focus all the way up to 650 or 605, telling us how much we can likely go up, how much we can likely go down, and then where we are having our normal forecast. All things being equal, this is what we are likely to have. Where we have the brown colors up to where we are going to. So this is how progress after 4:05 p.m. So, and when we come down here, this is the actual data that we worked on. But the next forecast that we have done, these are the data sets. So from 410, sales who at 4:05, sales ending at 15 customers. We were getting 15 customers. By 410, we was likely to have 16, because 15.4. So what I can do is, let me just highlight the whole of this. Yeah, all the way to, and then reduce it to integers so that we'll be able to make much more sense. So that's the forecast from the 405 onward. So from 410, sales would go up by 16, 415, it will go up by 16 again, and then in that order. That's the forecast that we're talking about. And then with the confidence interval, so that's, I think this will be the lower bound, as we are saying, and this is the upper bound, and then in that order. So this is the actual forecast sheet that we can actually look at what will happen after the 405, which ends around here. And then from 410 all the way up to 605 that we see in the graph. This is the actual data that will be happening. And then when you check on top here, this particular cell is the forecast GOBE cells, and this is the confidence interval figures. This is the confidence interval figures, and this is the forecast figures. So if you're focusing on, so by 450, how many customers are we likely to get? So this is 450 here. We are likely to have 21 customers. By 530, how many customers will have? 26, and then in that. So this becomes the forecast using the forecast sheet, and it's very easy to use, very, very easy to use. I have something here, Jata Cement Sales. So if you want, we just click here. Let me do one more example. And then go to your data tab, come to forecast sheet. And then, so let's initially check where it ends. The data is ending at, so let me delete this last part. The data is ending at 2020 May, 5th May. So we simply just click on it. Then we go to our data tab, come to the forecast sheet, and just click on this. So you see that the forecast sheet too, it also gives us all the way up to, so the blue line is always ends. You see, but this particular is it brown color give us the forecast, and so that is how the forecast is going to look like. Again, if we want to create the forecast sheet, we can simply come here, include the forecast sheet, and then any other thing is okay. Then here, I've already told you how to be able to change this, the start date. Maybe we don't want to, this time around, we don't want to start from August 20th. We want to start from, let's say, a different date. We can select that particular different date. And then, we want to end it at a different date. And then the start tool, we can come here, click over here, and then which particular, we are currently ending at May 5th, as you can see. But we can extend it to wherever that we want to. We are clearly starting at May 5th. We can start at a different date if we so wish, and then in that order, then we're good to go. So this is how it is. When everything is done, then you simply come and say, great. And it will simply do our creation for us, giving us our alpha, our beta, our gamma, and then our maxi, and then in that order. But here, the actual forecast, the yellow portion around here. If you come down here, you're going to have your forecast sheet that is telling you that beyond the data that we have, what is the forecast going to look like future. So our data ends at 5th May 2020, but going all the way up to 8th, is it August or is it? I think that's August of 2020. That's how many more months? I think that's about 3 more happen. This is going to be the new data. So after 5th May, now on the 6th of May, this is our sales. This is how sales is going to be. So sales is going to be, remember, we can as well. I'm going to highlight the whole of this and change it to go to my home and then make sure that they are all whole. If we do that, we can see that our focus actually day 5th May, and now on the 6th of May, look at what is going to happen here. So the forecast is estimating that sales are going to come to 100,940, and then we are going to have in that order. So these are the new sales that were likely to raise all the way from 5th May up to 8th August or up to August. And then that is how it is up to August 5, as you can see here. And then by August 5, what should be our sales? 110,602. That's how much cement number is sold. So basically, the forecast sheet is always easy, is able to. And then if you want to look at seasonality, if you want to look at, then you can actually check it from here. You can add a trend line from this place, but you can look at how the thing sales are practically the same until it started rising up for small. Then it went up here, did some boom, and then that is how the forecast is going to look like. This is the upper limit, and this is the lower limit, and then this is the optimum. So that's it. That's the forecast analysis for you. I will see you in another video.